I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears, and here we are with another episode. Today I'm going to talk about, how I kind of make fun out of nothing at all. And I'll explain as soon as I take a break here. I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I'm back. What I'm talking about is making fun out of nothing at all. I've always had the ability to find something to do when I'm bored, and it's not always a good thing for me to be bored because I can get into some trouble. But as a general rule, I don't. When I was a kid, I was kind of a loner kid, and I spent a lot of time by myself. And I was kind of an in-between child. I was older than the neighbor kids that were close to my age, and I was way younger than the other kids that were my sister's friends. So, and I was kind of bossy, and at times I'd get friends mad at me at the time. I don't think they remember that, but I always had to be the leader of the pack whenever with the younger kids because I was older, and I didn't like being younger with the older kids because it was their games. One thing my sisters did, though, growing up with sisters, girls are very creative when they're younger, so they did a lot of seances, and my neighbor girl Patty had a tape recorder, and they would spend time making ghost stories and stuff on the tape recorder, and I was with them, so I loved that. But they kind of got older and started liking boys and threw away the kid stuff, and I loved doing the tape recorder thing a lot. And so I can remember one summer my mom had laid away a tape recorder for me for Christmas, and I was really bored, so she went and got it out of layaway, and I had a blast with that tape recorder. I was doing ghost stories and all kinds of stuff, so I was always able to kind of entertain myself. And later, when I got my Mego figures, I could spend hours playing with those. I call them action figures, do not call them dolls. I may have mentioned this before. That's the thing with me. They are not dolls, they are action figures. But I went on many adventures with my action figures. Played for hours with those. When I was younger, I had the little Fisher-Price little people, and I loved those as well. I had lots and lots of adventures with those. But even when I didn't have a toy I could play with, I remember one stupid summer that I was bored, and all I had was a tub, an old big tin wash tub, and Mom's clothespins. So I tore the clothespins in half and drew faces on them and pretended they were people, and had a high sea adventure with the tub. And I played for hours like that. I mean, oh Lord, yeah, I was a weird kid, but I did do that, and God forbid any of the older kids saw me playing with clothespins in a big tin tub, because they probably thought I was special. Who's to say I'm not, right? Yeah, I did that. But I remember one particular instance, and God love him because I'm friends with him. But one of the neighbor guys saw me burning a sack, and I'll explain what I was doing, but he's like, "You watching that bag bird, Leonard?" Yeah, I'm thinking, even then I was humiliated because I was like, I was playing a game there. I actually had seen the Towering Inferno, and I was pretending that was a skyscraper, and it was burning. But anyway, yeah. Oh, Lord. You watching that bag burn, Leonard? I still, that rings in my head. Yeah. I'm insane, but I've always been the king of finding something to do, and that's where this podcast comes out of. I love doing this podcast because I can lay here in bed and do a podcast, you know. And it's funny because I'm on vacation this week as I'm recording this, and I have things to do, but I just can't get the motivation to do it. And something's prevented me from doing my things every day this week. So I was waiting on the internet people yesterday. They never showed, which is very frustrating. But yeah, I'm going to take a break and I'll talk more about this subject. I need to compose myself. You watching that bag burn, Leonard? I'll be right back. This is From My Head to Your Ears. I've composed myself. Okay, I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. And actually, the tape recorder that my mom bought got a lot of mileage, and later on, I got a boombox tape recorder. And in my early teens, I used to like to play radio DJ, and I actually have tapes somewhere of me and my preteen voice before it changed, pretending like I'm Matt McCann from CIL-FM in Carbondale, with my prepubescent voice that was quite high. A little funny story about that. I lived with my sister and my nephew, and his two brothers lived with their dad in Chicago, but they all came home for a visit, and I had to work, and my sister was at work, and they got in my stuff and found those tapes, and I literally could hear my high-pitched squeaky voice from the road, because they were playing it full blast in the stereo. They found those tapes, and I was so mad. I don't like anybody getting my stuff, but I laugh about it now, but they were dying. I was like, oh my God, that was my nephew's for you. I swear. But back to the whole, I played with that tape recorder for hours. I did ghost stories. I played radio. Always something, you know. And here I am, some 40 years later, 30 years later, probably 30, practically doing the same thing, only I get to actually broadcast it to the world after I send it out. Isn't that cool? I think it is. Another thing I do now, I have a huge movie collection, and I love movies. And thank God for social media, because I can share this, and it makes it fun. I like to have little movie marathons. And it started with Halloween movies. I would do a month. I still do. I've done it for the last 13 years or so. I do the month-long Leonard Riggs Jr. Halloween Film Festival. And I watch a scary movie a night. And with TikTok and social media, I kind of share what I'm watching every night, and I do a little trivia about it, and especially on my TikTok, which is fun. I usually my Halloween one covers all my social media accounts. Excuse me, my cat just jumped in front of me. Kira. but I come up with little ideas for little marathons because I have so many movies and so many varieties of movies that I can do little different marathons. I did a Christmas movie marathon last year, and that was a lot of fun because I was kind of researching Christmas movies, and I actually bought a bunch because I was looking, do I have any Christmas movies? And I really didn't have a lot. I have a lot, but I didn't have as many as I could have. I found a lot of older films that were actually Christmas movies, and that was kind of fun. Built my collection. I probably will do that again this year, but my favorite one's the Halloween one. I love horror films, and that's kind of gotten famous with my friends. They kind of like to watch what I'm watching when I post it on Facebook. And again, that just evolved out of boredom. My job, although I'm not going to bad-mouth my job, it's not always the most exciting job in the world. And it gives me something to think about and look forward to. And especially right now, because I mentioned as my last podcast, I'm a caregiver. So there's a lot of sitting with mom, and she actually enjoys movies. She doesn't like the scary movies so much, but she enjoyed it last year. I try not to do gory movies or anything that would disturb her. Certainly, I can't watch The Exorcist with her. That's not one I'd share. But yeah, I like doing the movie marathons, and I like doing playlists on iTunes and Spotify. I like putting together, for instance, when Olivia Newton-John passed away, I did a whole favorite song thing from albums and stuff. And just things like that I can keep busy with. Not that I don't have plenty to do at home. I have several cats and my mom. But just things to pleasantly pass the time. I don't have to do anything extreme. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. This is kind of a short podcast. I've been kind of long-winded in my last few, and this is more lighthearted. I hope people like this one better. Sorry I've been so down lately. I kind of have been. But anyway, I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I've got to go let my cat out. So I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs, and I'm back, and this is From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm talking about making fun out of nothing at all. And I've talked about tape recorders and my podcast and movie festivals. Another thing I enjoy doing, I used to have a video camera, so I enjoyed doing family holiday videos and editing them and putting titles on them and making a big production out of it, which kind of drove some of my family members nuts because they just wanted a video with the family. Instead, I made it kind of like the Waltons. But I enjoy that stuff. I love putting videos together. Not so much anymore. My life is not in a place where I want to record visually anything. I'm not even going to explain that. It's kind of sad right now. So I don't do that now, but I've enjoyed when the family was active and getting together. It was a lot of fun. Also, I did my hand at video podcasting years ago. I called it a video blog. Sadly, a lot of them were lost when I did those on MySpace years ago. And I would talk about movies, much like I'm doing with my podcast. And a lot of people really enjoyed them. There are maybe some that exist out there, or little bits and pieces on YouTube. If you look up my name, Leonard Riggs Jr., on YouTube, a lot of times those videos pop up. I do currently have a YouTube channel, and I tried video podcasting. I don't enjoy it as much. I have A lot of people know I went blind in my right eye due to a detached retina, and my eye kind of drifts. So I'm really self-conscious about that. So I don't really enjoy doing video podcasting, although I do TikTok videos. And if you notice in those videos, I'm not always looking at the camera. I don't like to. I'm all over the place with my eyes, so I'm kind of self-conscious about this eye. So I really enjoy the podcasting more than anything. This is my favorite medium, and I think I'm going to stick with it, even though finding an audience is just really hard. I do have a pretty good little audience that I'm very happy with. Someday it would be nice to have thousands of listeners, but I'm very happy with my small, intimate audience here, and I love all of you, and thank you for listening from the bottom of my heart. I love it. People come to the store and tell me they've been listening, and it just thrills me to death. Had a guy the other day tell me, and it was sort of random that he said it, and it made my day. So I don't want to put these out there and nobody listen. That would kind of suck. I do pretty okay with my podcasting. So the greatest gift that God ever gave me was my imagination. I don't know where I'd be without it. To me, this life is just kind of black and white, and this puts a little color in my life. So I really enjoy it. I used to, now that thinking back, in school, like during study hall and when I had nothing to do, I would make little comic books. I would have whole notebooks of comics. It's a true story. And if they saw some of my comics too, oh God, they would call my parents in, because I love horror films, and a lot of times it was horror. But I don't understand. My nephew once drew a gun in class, and the teacher flipped out and called my sister in, and I thought, well, he just drew a gun. Doesn't mean he'll use it. I did a lot worse when I was a kid. Certainly I'm not an axe murderer. It wasn't really coming from a dark place. It was coming from watching scary movies and enjoying them. You ever wonder, though, what makes you enjoy a certain kind of movie? I enjoy being scared. Comes from my childhood. I've talked about that before. I don't know, but that's something to think about, isn't it? I do the comic books. Actually, I did my version of Star Trek. And when I was unemployed, I would just draw comics just to pass the time away. I really, really drew. I mean, at that point, I could draw pretty well. So those are there. They exist. And I did animated movies. I did stop motion animated movies, which my dad kind of taught me how to do. My best friend, Craig, here's a Craig shout out again, learned how to do that in college. My dad showed me how, and that's not a bragging thing or anything, it's just true. I was embarrassed to show him because he was really good at what he did, and my little films were just silly. I have those somewhere. My nephew, John, is an artist in New York, John Mitchell, and he says my stop motion animated movies inspired him. He did some stop motion films too, kind of experimented with the medium as an artist. He's always said that inspired him. I think me and my sister Kim were a big influence on him in a lot of ways. We shouldn't be. I'm proud of that, because he's a renowned artist in New York, and that's kind of a compliment. Not kind of, it's a big compliment from him. But yeah, if you're ever in New York, he has a lot of art shows. John Mitchell, and his his lovely girlfriend, Anki, is also an artist out of Norway. Anki King, she's wonderful. Wonderful girl, wonderful gal. I love them dearly. And I'm not just bragging as an uncle. They are really talented. And they make me proud every day. But that gift of imagination is a wonderful thing. It can get you through life. So if you have a good imagination, and a lot of people can put their imagination to good use, like my nephew and his girlfriend, and make money and be successful. Unfortunately, I don't get to use my imagination in my daily life, other than never mind. I do envision slapping people every now and then. Just saying. Well, that was an evil laugh, huh? But yeah, I did all kinds of things. Just digging through my mind here. Again, just making fun out of nothing at all. I remember one particular movie production I did. It had snowed. It was 1983 probably. We had a huge snow. So I made a big movie set outside, and it's like Ice Planet, and I used my sister and my nephew when he was a baby, and did a little bit of stop motion animation with it, and this and that, and used my Mego action figures, and yeah, I made a big production. Oh, geez. I have quite a history with using my imagination, don't I? I think I'll take a break, and I want to see if I can think of anything else. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and I'm back, and this is from my head to your ears, and a couple of more things that I enjoyed doing was I love to blog. I love to write my thoughts down, record my thoughts. Other than vocalizing them, I can really go deep in my mind with writing. I really have always enjoyed writing. I took a creative writing class in high school. It's something that I feel even more comfortable with than podcasting, but it's just seemingly more time consuming, having to type something out and all that stuff. I don't care to write anymore. My hands tend to cramp, so typing it out is kind of tedious, but I enjoy the process of thinking and putting my words down. I used to have a website called LeonardsView.com, and I think it's still out there. You can look it up. I can't work on it anymore. I got locked out of it a long time ago. Some little nefarious company took over the company that I used, which was Yahoo Business, and I cannot get into my account. Lost my email addresses. I had some really interesting stuff on that website. I did a Where Are They Now about the reporters and newscasters in Southern Illinois, and we've had a lot of famous people come through here. For instance, Sam Champion, the weatherman that was on Good Morning America, and quite a few. David Rose, who does Washington's Most Wanted, and he was on Extra. A lot of people that came through here that are famous now. My friend Lou Jatan, who's a great blues man. You can look him up, and he has a lot of successful blues albums with his band 61 South. Just a lot of things. Met a lot of cool people in doing that, and I really enjoyed it. And unfortunately, it was a lot of work. I had over 120 people that I tracked down, if not more. And reporters and TV people are constantly changing. They're just they're being in the TV industry is nomadic, so they move from one market to another, and they can go across country. But Jason Lindsay, the science guy, you might see him on the Today Show every now and then. He's one of ours. He's a nice man too. I really like him. Kevin Hunsberger does his wrestling stuff. He's also a fellow podcaster, and he's a cool guy. But that's about it. Being gifted with an imagination has certainly enriched my life, and I enjoy podcasting, and I enjoyed all the other things I did too. And it's taken me through almost 60 years of life. I'm going to be 57 this year, and I still get to have fun. And it'd be wonderful if I could make a living at it. That would be something awesome. I wish it would be awesome if I could, because retirement age is coming up quick. It'd be nice to have something to supplement my income and be interesting. Yeah, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna take a break and wrap this up, actually, so I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs, and I'm back, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I've enjoyed doing this. I actually didn't realize how much stuff I've done over the last 20 years as far as social media and internet blogging and you name it. I kept busy doing that, and it's enriched my life quite a bit. And I think, though, the podcasting thing is what it's all led up to. I enjoy this more than anything. And like I said, I appreciate you listening. I was listening to another podcast a while ago, and I really enjoy listening to podcasts and making. So I hope you enjoy mine, and I love you all, and thank you for listening. And I will be back soon with another episode of From My Head to Your Ears. I am Leonard Riggs.